is, good news, I suppose, bad news if the way you look at the world. But yeah, no, I just it ended up all because, as I have asserted, my family here is mobbed up to the hilt. They're the original like bitch rich family, and here, and as I've stated, and a lot of people doubted me, that, oh, right, now you're starting to get paranoid and a little crazy, they don't have the courts rigged, they don't have the cops rigged, no. Well, as it turns out, I also, with everything I say, have the audio and emails and you name any kind of a proof anybody would like to have. I've got it, hours and hours of it, actually, and of the courts and the district attorney's office and so forth. Basically, everybody here locally that is elected in Dallas, all participating in this thing that was rife with Mason oriented actors and everything. For example, this like fake witness for this fake accusation they hurled at me was, as it turns out, a lifelong employee of the Scottish Rite as a secretary. Little things like that, just nuances everywhere. And so what I did in the end to solve it all was I just said, you know what, to myself, this is all the illusion and complete bullshit that it is. So I'm going to treat it as such and call it out as such. And I did. And I publicly slammed and cussed out, I'm talking, used plenty of profanity, etc., the judge over my case, the district attorney over my case, all of them, the courts, the jail, all involved, the public defender's office. And wouldn't you know it, that it all just like Houdini, poof, vanished, gone. And now no one wants anything to do with the subject matter, even though, as it was all unfolding, it was the talk of the fucking town. And it's just over the top. And the problem, as I see it, with seeking any kind of like, I don't know, politicization of it, or trying to accomplish something to counter it, this lockdown and this other situation definitely trumps that in every respect. I mean, even in my own mind. But it does paint a pretty grim picture of our police and judicial system and who is in elected office and why. And I'm just sort of walking proof of that. And I do definitely want to, what sucks about this lockdown for me personally is I would already been out of here because I'm obviously free to go. And I was supposed to get back to LA pronto because a very good friend in the media is wanting to work with me on turning all of this experience into a feature film. But that's all on hold right now because Hollywood is closed. So
yes, everything is closed.
Well, I mean, and it sounds like you're a hoax, and this is all bullshit perpetrated by a media takeover just by families like mine here. And this is all about trying to make a billions and billions of dollars worth of a merger go through with Sinclair Broadcasting, which would monopolize all media on the planet. And it's pretty much just about verbatim almost. It's crazy. The plot from Tomorrow Never Dies, Bond film with Pierce Brosnan. Same villain, same plot. Little more complex than that, not so cut and dry, but yeah. And why would the government let them do it? It's simple, because out of this, the government gets the bonus of getting to, strip everyone's rights away and burn the Constitution like they've had a wet dream for doing forever. So.
Yep. No, look at it. I mean, I don't know the details of what's happening. I mean, I can't know. I'm not on the inside of anything, but it does look to me awfully convenient that we've lost literally our freedom. You're afraid to go outside, you're afraid to go to a fast food restaurant. You can't even step on the ground without being afraid. I mean, we're all here shuddering around, waiting for this thing to kind of take over. And the way it's being reported by the establishment is just getting worse and worse. to the point
Everybody needs to turn off
where
all that media right now, and they need to
oh, it's
turn it
scaring
on
they're
again.
scaring the crap out of everyone. Now they're saying that millions of people have this thing and they don't even know it, and that you can get it again, and it's going to be another.
It's all a war game simulation that was filmed 5 months ago,
Mm-hmm.
and there's video of it that they put online because it was a conference they held. It's all public, and it's everything right now. It's a war game simulation, and any politician or official that's participating in this and acknowledging it, they're all committing high treason.
Well,
That
it
is what
seems
is
to me
happening.
that if what you're saying is true, it's this is being coordinated all over the world. I mean, I don't
Yes,
think
it's an
at this point
international
this.
corporate banking consortium, and they admit it. They admit it.
Mhm.
I can send you
And their
the
goal is
highlight
to
reel.
scare the crap out of everyone, and yet at the same time, there's clearly some kind of a disease going on because people are dying and people are getting very sick.
Absolutely.
So
You know what that is? It's the
what is it?
5G. Every area, Wuhan was the first area that they activated the balls to the wall full Monty 5G system. And wherever they're activating this stuff, people are getting very ill. They're a very expert, top of her field friend of mine. I'd love to hook y'all up for an interview. Dr. Judy Mikovits, she's CDC whistleblower from back in the day about how the AIDS virus was a bioweapon. She worked on the AIDS virus with Dr. Gallo and Dr. Fauci. And Dr.
Mhm.
Fauci personally tried to have her killed and tortured and everything, and she survived. He's a very bad man. He's a fucking Nazi.
Well, one thing I noticed about Fauci, and this is on his Wikipedia page. I mean, this isn't even secret. You could look it up. Is that when he was first appointed by Reagan, he was involved in the development of this anti-AIDS drug called AZT, and it turns out that drug that killed more people with AIDS than AIDS itself. It was a highly toxic form of
Yes.
chemotherapy that
If
had
you've
been
ever seen the
rejected by
movie,
the it had been
no one ever
rejected by the
sees what's
American
right in front
Cancer
of them.
Institute.
If you've ever seen the movie Dallas Buyers Club, he would be the antagonist, the villain in the fucking
Mhm.
movie. It's that literal and blatant in front of everyone's face, and it's just I've been very upset lately, actually, because I do know what's going on,
Oh
and I'm
boy.
willing to make statements like, as having worked for CBS Broadcasting, having been from this family that is a major shareholder of CBS, or by which I mean Nexstar Tribune Media. This is exactly every bit of what the so-called tinfoil hat people have said all along, and it's a media move on becoming richer than God, and the government gets the kickback of lighting the Constitution on fire. It's win-win for all of them involved, and the corporations, large ones, stand to gain the most. So they're
And
keeping quiet too.
so in other words, this is it's according to you, this is being done for money and for the kind of the imposition of a world
Oh, money
power,
and
a
power.
world
It's the
order.
reason. It's the motivation behind everything.
And what is
Those
this 5G thing? I mean, exactly. And how is that? What is that involvement with that, according to you?
the radio. It's because they call it the Internet of Things because they want everything connected, everything from your computer to your dishwasher to your garage door opener. So it's no question at all if your carbon footprint is too high, sir. So your dishwasher is only going to run one time a week for you, says us, being so it happens, and so it is. Or sorry, we're under lockdown right now. Your garage door just isn't going to open. Tough shit. That's what they want. The problem is one, the human rights violations to the roof and back. Two, the fact that the radiation from that is so high that it's basically like living next to an always on and running microwave oven right next to your head 24/7.
Oh my God! And these things, the 5G. I mean, that's supposedly there to help with Wi-Fi and phone, right?
Let's just say yes. Well, that's the foo-foo sugar-coated stuff. The truth is, if you want to go know how dark this goes, is that any tyrannical government in power, much like this one is behaving, if they just decided, you know what, let's see, I'll use Trump as an example. I'm not saying he thinks this. I'm just going to use him as an example. Let's say a man like him gets elected. in the way he does and the means, and the whole discourse is identical. And he gets into office, he's inaugurated, gets handed the little president box of, bad buttons for war. And he says, you know what? I ain't feeling California. They didn't like me. Not a one of them voted for me. Screw them. And he can feasibly push a button with this system and make everybody's molecules of their DNA and atoms of their cells break down. And people would just turn to dust or goo or whatever on the pavement, and that'd be that. And then he, that person would then logically probably say, now, see, who else has something to say? And we'd be under a technocratic fucking Empire, Star Wars lockdown for here on out,
Oh my God. I mean, this is, it's so horrifying that it's really impossible to get my mind around. I mean, I'm not in a position to endorse anything you're saying, of course, because I have no idea, but boy, what a scenario. It's certainly something to think about. And as I've said,
I'll send you the reel of them all saying this kind of stuff openly, minus the 5G part.
No, I mean, look at it. I mean, the whole thing, I mean, as just as I say, a kind of a normie, if you will. I mean, it certainly looks suspicious to me. I mean, the idea that this thing can have the entire planet under a lockdown, where we've all basically laid down flat and surrendered all of our freedoms. And the fact that people are getting sick, and we're hearing horror stories about that, which are scaring the crap out of us. And just that combined with, you have to take a look at who benefits. This is the dream of the leftist socialist establishment since the days of Nimrod. I mean, this is conquer the world.
These people and this plan go back to that. And no one's asking the most obvious question right in front of them, which is, wait a minute, we were all put in lockdown before people really started getting sick. And so if everybody's isolated or whatever, then how the hell are they getting sick? So then, they would start asking about, but no. Why were we put in lockdown first? Because all of these, there's been a surge of activism lately to do specifically with what? 5G. Angry parents have been going to their school boards and saying, not in my child's school, not until there's testing, And so they had to do it this way because what they don't want you to see during the lockdown hours, and there's video surfacing of this all over the world, is they have crews out feverishly, some with police protection. Why do you need that? To put this stuff on in, and it's going to be bad.
Oh my God! What do you see? What is the end game here? What do you think is? I mean, are we ever going to get out of this? I'm starting to wonder if we're ever going to be able to leave the house.
We will, and the plan is, and I only know this because I still have contacts from my old jobs that still, I guess, care about what happens to me and feed me information. So they're going to lift it, but there's going to be a window that no one is really aware of, because they're going to sit back and they're going to review all the notes they've taken about this shit and go, okay, what worked, what didn't, what pissed off people the most, who were people who were acting as insurrectionists, kind of like me, encouraging people to not tolerate this and throw out the government, blah, blah, blah. And they're going to identify where they need to improve it. And then probably maybe like this fall, winter, they're going to pull the shit again. And this time their intention is to make it permanent. So what needs to happen right now is, like if you look at Ohio, people yesterday in Ohio started storming their state capitol, screaming or chanting. And I love this. I swear to God, this is my favorite chant ever from a protest that I've heard yet, is OHIO, everything else has to go. And how appropriate. And there's people there who are former diehard Trump supporters that are not anymore, because they can see now that he did not drain a swamp. He opened the floodgates to the swamp and let it come pouring in at rates never seen before.
Well, I mean, I think he certainly has tried to do it, but he's it's like one man against this entire deep state conspiracy that's been in place, I don't know, since forever,
Oh,
certainly
totally.
since
They
the late
almost did.
1940s.
They almost did it with SARS, but they couldn't get any conservatives to go along with it because of Obama being in office, so it wouldn't work. But this time they managed to dupe conservatives into executive orders and things he's been signing and not really reading what it is.
Mm.
And now they've accelerated it because their plan was 2025. And so they're 5 years, they feel, ahead of schedule. Let's go.
Well,
And
James, what can we do?
uh, refuse it. Tell them
Just
because
so
they're
what
going
do
to
you mean?
try
Just
and say, take this vaccine to get your I'm all good to be a citizen again stamp of approval. And it's either going to be some mark of the beast shit with a chip, or it's going to be a vaccine that literally is full of shit that's going to kill
oh,
you.
it's going to
And
kill you. I mean, look, the even like the going back to the swine flu vaccine back in 1975, it
yes.
killed. I think it killed thousands of people.
Oh my God, I'm going to send you a second clip too. My business partner sent me this, and it struck a lot of chords with me. One, because it's CBS 60 Minutes from 78 talking about that.
Mm.
And remember, my grandfather created and cast the original cast of 60 Minutes. So this is back when journalism was quite a hefty,
And who was your
heavy hitter.
grandfather?
Huh?
Who was your grandfather, James?
Clyde Rimbert.
Okay. Now,
And in this piece, they totally attack the government. Everybody, the people that are injured by it, are attacking and saying, "I'll never take another vaccine in my life." And my favorite part, and you should actually like play a soundbite of this on your show or something. Is during the big propaganda rush, oh, quick, go get your shot. They were saying things about celebrities, and one of the ones that they harped on was Mary Tyler Moore. Oh, Mary Tyler Moore is a good citizen. She got sick from it, and she went and got her vaccine, and now she is all better. And 60 Minutes in this piece interviews Mary Tyler Moore, and she says, absolutely not. No one asked my permission to use my name. I have not been sick. I did not get the vaccine. I will not ever get a vaccine. They are lying, and my attorneys are suing the federal government over this. Yeah, it's so amazing,
well,
and how low journalism has sunk.
oh, absolutely. It's just it's utterly trivial. Now, James, so the vaccine is not going to be ready. I mean, even in the best case scenario, for at least another year. So, my question to you is,
Oh,
what
no,
do
no, no,
you?
no. They when they say it'll be ready, yeah, you're right. But oh, they've got that already because the U.S. owns the patent, and I did my own. I had a hunch on something, so I
Mm.
did my own research. And the website they keep pushing on the TV, coronavirus.gov, I looked and it was taken out by a biotech company in California in 2001. July of 2001. They registered that domain.
Okay, but my question to you is, putting aside the vaccine, let's, for the sake of argument, say that we refuse the vaccine, and I'm not going to get a vaccine. I mean, I
Yeah.
hope my family doesn't either. I can't tell them what to do, but they're a little bit more normie than I am, so
Yeah.
they might follow the orders. But if we don't take the vaccine, what can we do to protect ourselves from this thing? How can we start to go back outside and begin to function again in a way that we can live again and function?
I mean, I think it's crucial that people just try to go back to their ordinary lives, and I think they'll be fine. And if there turns out to be um, a virus or some sort of viral threat of pandemic type worry that is legit, that legitimate information is being studied, collected, and passed on as it should be in a good society with a good government, um, then there's another con going on out in plain sight, which is the solution. Like when you're in LA, for example, I don't know if they had to do it where you live, but anytime you go out in public or on a bus or a train or a subway or anything, you see these posters saying, "Are you on prep?" They even have prep squad. It's these characters that look like Power Rangers, and they go around to the high schools and have them talk to the students like on the sex ed day or whatever in the auditorium. And I even knew about this like 2 years before it happened when they sent out the audition call to all the industry people in LA. And so PrEP is an antiviral drug that it's kind of like an episode of Family Guy where they do the hypothetical what if future timelines or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they do the one like if science had been allowed to progress, and you see Quagmire coming out of his house and having, or not someone else's house, a hooker, having just left a hooker, and the thing on his smartwatch goes off and says like an alarm at him. He goes, "Uh-oh, just got AIDS," and he pops a pill and goes, "Gone." So I mean, they have that. That's why HIV really isn't so much of an issue anymore, because like all of West Hollywood, Palm Springs, large gay populations, they all take it, whether they're HIV positive or not, because if you are HIV positive and you're another person who's negative, you can have all the unprotected sex you want till the cows come home, as long as the person who's negative took a PrEP pill either before or after. And it's basically, they don't advertise this, but if you are taking that, and anyone can take it, you can be a straight person and go to your doctor and say, I live a high risk lifestyle, I'm a total whore. You know, they will prescribe it and insurance will pay for it. And basically, right now, no joke, I could go down to the LA subway and lick the handles and I'll be fine. Even with this so-called
because you've taken this PrEP pill?
Because I'm immune to viral infections.
And that's because you're taking the PrEP?
Yes, that's correct.
Now, what is the PrEP? What is this pill?
Well, the one specifically that I take is called Genvoya, but most people take one called Icentrus, and I used to take that one, but it did give me a little bit of a upset stomach reaction, so they changed it to a different
you're
one.
taking this because of HIV, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so my question is that these pills, I mean, because when you say that there's some kind of an establishment that is doing this, I mean, I could imagine that these people don't want to catch this disease themselves, so they're probably taking this thing and they know this. And you're saying that this stuff is available by prescription from any pharmacy, and this would protect you from this disease. That's your claim.
Absolutely. And I've had people who didn't know that about me warn me anyway and tell me to take it because, yeah.
Now, what about the hydroxychloroquine and the Zithromax? My understanding, and this is according to a podcaster that I respect a lot, that being Bill Still. And Bill he's been around Washington since the 60s. He's a good investigative reporter. He's written an excellent book on the monetary system. I mean, he knows what you and I know. And he says that this hydroxychloroquine combined with an antibiotic and zinc is curing people. And it is in 95% of the time. Is that true? I mean, do you know anything about that?
I think that may be what it was. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you 2 videos. One of, it's only 11 minutes, and it's the highlight reel of this horrible shit, so you can hear the evil masterminds of all this and say it out of their own mouths that they're about to do this. And the second one I'm going to send you is about an hour and a half. It's an interview from earlier in the week with a lady. Her name is Dr. Judy Mikovits. If you never listen to anything else I say, I'm begging you, please listen to this interview.
I'll definitely listen to that, and I'll talk about it. So, yeah, please send that to me, James.
And let me just say that this woman is not only as high profile as you get. everything she says is the truth, and I can say that as someone that I know her. She's a personal close friend, and I've worked with her, and I will stake all the money in the world on anything she has to say.
Okay, so send me both of those, James. And when you get back and you get settled, get in touch with me, and we'll do some more. We'll do some more videoing.
Okay, yeah, and I'll give you a call tomorrow evening. See how because I should have a nice break point.
Okay, excellent. Thank
Okay.
you very much. Be careful and take care.
Yes, you too, and I'll send them to you here on Skype
On
and
Skype.
text.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.